أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي واشدد به أزري واشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي أوصني أن أشكر نعمتك التي أنعمت علي وعلى والدي وأن أعمل صالحا ترضاه وادخلني برحمتك في عبادك الصالحين. O Lord, enable us to be grateful for the blessings that you have bestowed upon us and our parents, and help us do righteous deeds that are accepted by you, and admit us by your mercy into the company of the righteous. Ameen. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Happy Saturday. Inshallah, everybody's doing amazing. Today we will continue with journeying through the 15th ray, pretty much looking into how mysterious our universe is. And today we will pick up from the 7th step, page 630 on the E-Risale website. So page 630 of the 7th step. And through the mystery that the particular, the part, the seed, and men are not inferior as regards to art and eloquence to the star, the universal, the whole, the tree, and the world. And through the mystery that the particular, the part, the seed, and man are not inferior as regard art and eloquence to the star. The universal, the whole, the tree, and the world. This is interesting. Anything you can take that we find existing in creation around us, particular something, a seed, a man, star, or anything, as far as the message that it conveys, it points to the same absolute source of existence. So even with eloquence as well. So a star is as eloquent in manifesting certain qualities as is a seed. And same thing, a tree is as much displaying the qualities of its artist as a fruit is displaying, although I'm the one eating and benefiting from the fruit, but the fruit is no different than the tree. Okay, so let's see what the author has to say here. Note, the basis, mind, and sun of the truths contained in these 9 steps are the verses. The basis, mind, and sun of the truths contained in these 9 steps are the verses. Say, He is God, the One. Kul huwallahu ahad. Say, He is God, the One. God, the eternal and ever besought. Allahu Samad, Lam Yalid, wa Lam Yulad. So these statements are taken from Quran, section 112, verse 1 and 2. So it's pretty much expounding a grasping of these verses if I'm pretty much vigilant of anything that I'm interacting with. They are brief indications to flashes from the manifestation of divine oneness and eternal besoughtedness. Eternal besoughtedness seems interesting because the eternal and ever besought, it seems as if that's what we are all seeking, although it may seem that we are after some goals, gains here and there, but at the end of the day, through those gains, we are deep down seeking a one not of the nature of this universe. Which is the God, the eternal and ever besoughtedness. Okay, so what does Samadhiya means? You brought it up. So if you may want to shed some light.
As you were explaining, everything is seeking the source. It's a further explanation of what extends from when you see divine oneness, you are looking as a contingent being. You spoke about contingency also. Everything depends on that particular being. So the besoughtedness is everything can be seen in a way that it depends and relies on that being, as everything is being taken care of by that being in their existence.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Making one or 2 points, we shall take a very brief look at the meaning of this 7th step, and for the details, refer you to the Risale-e-Nur. That is, a particle which performs wonderful duties in the eye or brain is not inferior to a star, nor is a part inferior to the whole. For instance, the brain and eye are not inferior to the human being as a whole. Ooh, the brain and eye are not inferior to the human being as a whole, nor with regard to beauty of art and the marvels of its creation is a particular individual inferior to a universal species, nor with regard to beauty of art and the marvels of its creation is a particular individual inferior to a universal species. Interesting. Nor with his strange members and faculties is a man inferior to all the animal species. Nor with his strange members and faculties is a man inferior to all the animal species. Nor in regard to fine craftsmanship and being treasury-like and resembling an index, program, and memory is a seed inferior to a mighty tree. Nor in regard to his creation and wondrous comprehensive organs and faculties created as to perform thousands of amazing duties. Is a man the microcosm inferior to the universe? This means that the one who creates the particle cannot lack the power to create the star. And the one who creates an organ like the tongue certainly easily creates man. And the one who creates a single man thus perfectly surely can create all animals. And this he does before our eyes. And the one who creates a seed as a list, an index, a notebook of the laws issuing from the divine command, and as a knot of life. Ooh, I remember that one from last time. And as a knot of life. Although not sure what it means, but is certainly the creator of all trees. So the one who creates a seed as a list, an index, a notebook of the laws issuing from the divine command, and as a knot of life, is certainly the creator of all trees. Perhaps the interconnectedness of everything. And the one who creates man as a sort of seed of the world, and as its comprehensive fruit, and makes him the mirror to all the divine names and connected to all the universe, and vicegerent of the earth, most certainly possesses such power that he creates the universe as easily as he creates man and sets it in order. In which case, whoever is the creator, maker, and sustainer of the particle, particular, individual seed, and man must be the creator, maker, and sustainer of the stars, species, the whole universals, trees, and the whole universe. That it should be, otherwise is impossible and precluded. Any comments from anybody?
No.
Go ahead, Ali Murmur.
Yeah. I think we are familiar with this concept because we keep saying that in order to be able to create one thing, to give existence to anything, big or small, regardless of the size or quality, the one who is giving existence to this thing must be the one who must have absolute qualities. Why? If someone is not absolute, cannot give existence to a thing as a result of his will. None of these non-absolute beings, which are dependent created beings, have this quality. No one has any quality in the world to give existence. That is one. It is, I think we are familiar with it. And also, what we see, it's an incredible demonstration in the universe in order to be able to give existence to anything in this world, because anything in this world exists within the whole of the universe, perfectly harmoniously working together. So if someone doesn't really encompass the whole universe, cannot create even a cell. If someone doesn't encompass the whole body, cannot create a cell, because in the cell, what we see, all the programs of the body is written. It's so obvious. So the seventh step says, whatever the perspective we should take, we can take, whether from minute world or micro world or from macro world. We must come to the conclusion that whoever created the whole universe must be the creator of every single being in it. Whoever created every single being in it must be the one who created the whole universe, because in the existence of everything we see the qualities of an absolute being, because every single quality in anything is harmoniously working with the other qualities in this single being, as well as this single being is harmoniously working with the rest of the world. From whatever the aspect we look, we have to, human mind has to conclude that the creator must be the single one. Everything is awesome, explained the eternally besorted one. Everything needs his will to exist, the one who gave existence to everything in the universe. And another meaning of, from another perspective, a necessary perspective, if the one who gives existence to the universe, it means he must have an independent existence. It means he doesn't need any bodies. He doesn't seek anything else, help or, to be created. So the summit is a very interesting word in the Quran, which is used only once in the Quran here in the narrated verse, which means within the context of the whole text of this chapter, this section, everybody knows, as you said, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. We understand that God is the eternal, and God is one. It means there cannot be two creators at the same time, because there can only be one absolute, first of all. The second one, if an absolute being gives existence to something out of his own will, there will be no need for another thing to give existence to another thing, because by definition, this absolute being should not lack anything in it. Otherwise, cannot be absolute. If absolute loses one value, it cannot be absolute. We know that. It is human logic also conclude. So this one must be it means God is one. It means Ahad means, we always say Ahad means absolute. If he is absolute, definitely he doesn't need anything else for his help. And also everything must come from him. It means everything is possible for him to create. It is that the whole universe is obvious evidence for it. Thank you.
Jazakallah khair, thank you. Any other comments from anybody? Okay, then, inshallah, let's move on with the 8th step. All I was wondering what not of life means a little bit. I know it was mentioned last time as well, but pretty much maybe stemming the interconnectedness among things that we notice, coming in from a same source of existence, or maybe. Go ahead, Ali Murmur.
It is the literal translation of Uqdatul Hayati, Haya, which means, it's a very literal translation, everything, every life comes from this source. No, it is not right. Sorry. Life is the, in this universe, is the source. Everything in the, for example, the tree or the animal, whatever living being is, comes from this life. So when the creator creates the life, the rest of the procedure of acting of creation comes from this life. It doesn't mean that the life is the source of existence of anything, but it is the way that the creator creates through this Uqdatul Hayat. It means one single cell, everything is written in it, and life develops from this cell, which means, for example, a human life, let's say, and comes from one cell. Now, all the organs, members of the body or human qualities, all of them deriving from this source, which means the one who creates this source, this one cell, knows and the creator of all the members, all the other cells of the body of human being, body of a tree, body of an animal, living beings, body of a plant. That is an obvious sign that the creator cannot be two, for example, or something else, the causes or other things, because if the creator was the causes must be creating every member of the body of an animal or of a human being independently, but we don't see an independent action. One single source of life is the main source of the whole members of this living being, maybe animal or a human being. That is why we can, how do you say, reverse the process. Who created the brain? The one who created this knot of life. That means the cell which has life, which is giving life in it. Who created my tongue? The one who created that seal. Who created that cell? Who created my hand? The one who created that cell. This is also a sign for the oneness, the uniqueness soulness of the creator. That's what I understood.
Okay, interesting. Something to think about. So pretty much what I observe here as things coming into existence, as far as my observation is concerned, like the seed and the plant and the flower. So the seed is like the knot of life, as in the, what do you say, like maybe the act of life, as in terms of somebody's giving it act of life to it. And then because that's how I notice things, however, if I connect everything to an absolute source of existence or to a giver of life, to the one that gives existence, then existence is taking place all at once. It's not that, oh, you know, the seed is coming into existence, then the tree, but from my end, I may observe as life perhaps stemming from the seed, but I should bear in mind that existence is all happening at once. That's how I'm noticing. I don't know, just some rough takeaways from what Ali Murmur shared, but I don't know, Brother Ali, you have your mic open. I'm not sure if you want to say something or it's just a mistake. Okay. Any other comments from anybody or any questions or? Although I still need to a little bit wrap my head around this concept of knot of life, because I mean, you know, we talk about existence. We're exactly, and we're interacting with existent things that are given life. So, so what does it mean that, like the seed being the agent of life kind of thing? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say something, but that doesn't make sense. But like, that's how to me it looks like. But like something that's life is stemming from, but at the same time, we observe and notice life in everything. I don't know, just some rudimentary thoughts here. So if anyone wants to add, feel free to do so. If not, then maybe we can revisit this again, inshallah, some other time. Okay. Let's proceed with the 8th step. 8th step. Through the mystery of the surroundings and wholes, inevitably being in the grasp of the creator of the things. The mystery of the surroundings and wholes, inevitably being in the grasp of the creator of the things, which are surrounded, and the parts, which are surrounded, and the parts, like the miniature inscribed beings similar to them, or milked, extracted droplets, for they and their likes are included in the former with the balance of his knowledge, or are milked from them in accordance with the principles of his wisdom. Let me reread this whole thing again because I didn't catch it. So through the mystery of the surroundings and wholes, inevitably being in the grasp of the creator of the things which are surrounded, and the parts, like the miniature inscribed beings similar to them, or milked, extracted droplets, for they and their likes are included in the former with the balance of his knowledge, or are milked from them in accordance with the principles of his wisdom. I guess this may be referring to whatever we observe as far as how things are encapsulated with minute seed-like object and a big tree. I'm not sure. So let's see what the author has in mind and we can make that connection. That is the relation to the large universals, which encompass them, of the particulars which are encompassed. Yikes, so many encompass going on. The relation to the large universals, which encompass them, which encompassing what? Of the particulars, which are encompassed, and of individual seeds and grains, which are within universals and wholes. So micro to the macro, macro to the micro level kind of thing going on, right? Encompass, yeah. Is as tiny miniatures and as the identical samples of the universal and wholes. Universal and wholes. Hey, what is this universal and wholes? Universal as in macro world, like the whole thing. So like the tree, that would be the whole. Tiny miniature would be the seed or the fruit. So now let's see, inscribed in miniature in the very finest writing. Since this is so, the encompassing universal must be within the grasp of the creator of the particulars. The encompassing universal must be within the grasp of the creator of the particulars and completely under his disposal, so that through the balances of his knowledge and its fine pens, he can include that huge all-encompassing book in hundreds of minuscule sections and notebooks. So pretty much, I guess, connecting this back to the knot of life, it seems that everything that we observe or things that seems to be encapsulated or encompassing, like this tree encompasses the seed, the fruit, and the leaves. And so pretty much all this is under a conscious command and will. So the relation and comparison then of the encompassed parts and particulars with their surrounding is as droplets melt from what encompasses them, like milk, or as if someone squeezed their surroundings and those points dripped from them. Oh, an example, thank God, an example. Yeah, let's look into the example. Hopefully, inshallah, that should make the case clear for me at least. For example, a melon seed is a droplet milked from all its surroundings. I get it. Or a point in which is written the whole book. Okay. For it contains its index, list, and program. Okay, that wasn't that too bad. So a seed, yeah, let's take any seed, a lemon seed, a melon seed, you name it. Pretty much it encompasses the whole fruit or object that we notice and interact with. So it's like an index containing the whole life story of the fruit, pretty much, just like it's saying here, the program. And so a melon seed is a droplet milk from all its surrounding. This lingo should pretty much mean that it's as if everything is stemming from whatever we see, the end product stems from the knot of life of this droplet, this melon seed or any seed. Okay. Since it is thus the encompassing wholes and universals, I think they're interchangeably being used, wholes and universals. Otherwise, I'll go crazy over it, but inshallah, we can maybe share some thoughts later. Since it is thus, the encompassing wholes and universals must be within the hand of the maker of those particulars, droplets, and points so that he can melt the individuals, droplets, and points from them with the sensitive principles of his wisdom. Since it is thus, the encompassing wholes and universals must be within the hand of the maker of those particulars, droplets, and points, so that he can milk the individuals, droplets, and points from them with the sensitive principles of his wisdom. So pretty much everything is under the care of a single source of existence. So yeah, it's pretty much taking care of everything that we are observing. So this means that the one who creates the seed and individual must be the one who creates the whole and the universals, and the other universals and sorts, which encompass the latter and are bigger than them, and the other universals and sorts which encompass the latter and are bigger than them. It could not be anyone else, in which case the one who creates a single soul can only be he who creates all mankind. It's kind of like the same point that's being made pretty much throughout all the mysteries that we've covered thus far in these various steps. Like this sentence pretty much sums it up, that the one who creates the seed and individual must be the one who creates the whole and the universals and the others, other universals and sorts, which encompass the latter and are bigger than them. It could not be anyone else, in which case the one who creates, this one is an interesting sentence, the one who creates a single soul can only be he who creates all mankind. Like, yeah, we can't really make a separation or distinction, like, and the one who raises to life, one dead person can raise to life all jinn and men at the resurrection of the dead, and will raise them to life. So see what is claimed and stated by the verse. Your creation and resurrection is but a single soul. Quran, section 31, verse 28. Your creation and your resurrection is but as a single soul. This is very interesting as well. Yeah, one's creation and resurrection is but a single soul. Like, we can't really separate it out, although that's what I do in heedlessness, or pretty much how at first glance we observe things, but I think a little more conscious awareness of what existence means and points to, then we can't really separate a seed from a tree. Definitely it's a different form of existence. That's what we can say. Okay, so all of this is most definitely and brilliantly pure truth and reality. I'll take a pause here and see if anybody wants to add anything with all these encompassings, universal wholes, if you want to make any comment, so we can better grasp the subject at hand. Inshallah, feel free to do so. Ali Murmur, go ahead, please.
Okay, our friends are silent. I feel that is why the people who don't believe in the creator and try to explain the universe is coming with, where is the source of the existence of the universe, and they develop many theories, but all the theories boils down to one point, as far as I can trace what is going on in the world of interpretation of investigating what the source of existence of this universe is. They go back to one single atom. Why? If they referred the existence of the universe, let's say every single atom exists by itself, created by itself, and itself created itself, or it created itself, whatever it is, then every being should act independently from the other beings. But what is obvious to everyone, believers or non-believers, that everything is interdependent. So in this interdependency necessitates that they are coming from one source. They say it Big Bang or the first atom. But some people even say, those people who believe endless universes or multiple universes, they also say the same thing. It is so strange and interesting. They say all the things die and fall into dry black hole. Okay, what is that? We don't know, but mathematical equations shows it. Definitely there must be a black hole. Where is it? We don't know, but there must be, because they cannot really approach this kind of concepts. Black hole, antimatter, dark energy, dark matter, this kind of concepts are unknown, and they say also, we don't know, but there must be, there must be, there must be, because at the same time, this is very interesting, although it is not related to our subject right now, every matter exists necessarily with its antimatter. Why? Because the balance of the universe is so perfect that in its existence, there is no shaky, there is no disorderliness in any part of the universe. This is the claim of the non-believers in God. So if something exists, there must be a counterpart of it, which is called antimatter. Like positive power cannot exist with its counter or anti-quality, which is negative power. So for example, they know in the atomic structure, if there was no proton, there should be no electron. If there is electron, there must be a proton, because they should interact with each other. Do they know what it is? No. But what they see, they are interacting each other. What is that? For example, it is so surprising that they talk about gravity. Everybody talks about gravity. Ask a scientist, what is the essence of gravity? Can you show me anything of the gravity? You know, particles or photons or whatever they call it. They say, no, but we are sure such a thing exists. This is also a logical conclusion. When you say, I'm sure, is a logical conclusion that the universe must have a source of existence which is not subject to anything else, independent being. Or they say, oh, it is an imagination. But can you say that the gravity is imagination? No. What we see it, and logically we conclude. Do they show any particles of gravity? No. Do they show any material signs of gravity? No. It is just a logical conclusion necessitated by the mathematical equations. So the same thing goes with the Big Bang. One atom is the source of existence of whole universe because it is so full of energy. How come then? For example, they say it is speculation, but they again say it is very interesting. Everything dies and falls into black hole. And what happens there? All the energy they have is united into another particle, which is that the Big Bang. It happened one atom and exploded, and then when it explodes again, another universe is created. They say, or they don't say created, comes out. So, is there any knowledge about black hole? No, none of the scientists say we have nothing because it is unknown. But mathematical equation necessitates it. That's what they say. This is logical. Mathematical equation means logical conclusion. So it is logical as well. What we understand from it, even the non-believers, atheists, so explain, those people who try to explain the universe as reducing it to an atom, believes that the universe must come from one source. That is very interesting. One source. Can an atom be source of existence of the whole universe, expanding everything in the universe so perfect, and harmony is working? They believe in one atom. However, they say they don't know. However, it exists, is the source of existence of the universe. This atom. How about this atom? Because it is a part in the universe. It is not an absolute being. It is a part of the universe. It means it needs to be given existence. What is the source of existence of atom? Maybe they say, they don't say the creator. That is their biased idea or attitude. Maybe it is coming from the result of a died universe's accumulated energy. So they are making it up. Any sign, any evidence for it in the universe? No, but it is in the universe. It means the existing being, like any part of the universe. When you say, but, it is just a vain, absurd interpretation. Why don't you accept that this universe is given existence by an absolute being? Again, one absolute being. Rather than reducing it to an atom, which is ridiculous. Atom will be the source of existence of this universe as we see it. Is incredible. Also, there are many other theories coming out, very interesting, that they are struggling to justify this irrational conclusion. There are lots of things. The black hole is a very simple one. Is the dark energy, dark matter. Okay, I don't want to bother you about this technical information. So what bothers me, or what is the related point here? The universe in it is, I think you asked the question, what is the difference between wholes and universals? Whole and universals. Everything is, whether it is a whole being, you took it, or universal being, you took it. Whatever the perspective you have, regardless, you have to say that the source of existence of every single being must be an absolute being, one absolute being. Why? Whole, for example, my body is a whole, okay? My body is a whole as compared to my members of my body, the members of my body. It's a whole. So heart works with kidney, with stomach, with blood, with lungs, with brain, all together. So brain works with all other. If one of them doesn't work, the whole system collapses. For example, collapse. That is what we inevitably have to accept, that the universe, with sort of body as a whole, must be a sign that all its members are given existence by the one being. Why? They are working in harmony with each other. Now, this is called whole and particular relationship, or members of the whole, parts of the whole. This is how we understand whole. How about universals? Every single part of any being demonstrates the universal qualities manifested in it. It means, for example, when you look at an atom or a particle, whatever you look at, a cell of the living being or a body of a living being, all the qualities say, in order to, for example, the simple example, obvious example is the order it works within it, within this order. This order must be given existence by the one who gave the order of the whole universe. That is universal. And for example, we see that there is a design. Okay, there is a design in a cell. Okay, this, the design, the quality of design manifested in a cell must be given existence by the one who designs everything in the universe that a human being can ever imagine. The universe is huge. I mean, not on the matter side of it, but other necessary elements in the universe is incredible to grasp. And only the one who gave existence to the universe can be the one who gave existence to this cell, one cell, or even a particle of a cell, which we see in it the quality of design. For example, if we see wisdom, this wisdom must be the sign of every wisdom manifested in the universe. Every part of the universe must be the one who gave the whole existence of the whole things with wisdom, must be the one who gave existence to the wisdom, the quality of wisdom in the existence of a particle. That is the universal connection, that nothing can be isolated or taken away from it. That's why the materialists have to refer the existence, source of existence of the universe to a one single part, which is, they call it Big Bang atom. One atom exploded. That's what this Big Bang is. Explosion of one single atom. It expands, and during the expansion, it develops as it is now we are experiencing. That's what they imagine the universe. This is the order, necessitates one source. We understand that either we say universe has come out, an atom, we don't know where it came out, or one atom, or one creator whom we conclude logically about the necessity of its existence. There is no other way. It means whether believer or not, we have to refer the existence of the universe only one source, not two or more. So it is so incredible. Either believe in the creator or believe in an unknown part of the universe, which is one atom exploded. Where did this atom come from? We don't know, but there may be somewhere else. But this is just speculations, not logical conclusion, no evidence at all, logical evidence. So it is so interesting to see what is going on in the world now, which influences every mind, as if, how do you say the word, hypnotize the minds of the young generation. You look, everything they explain, but I think they cheat the young people's minds with the technology which works. Of course, technology should work because technology is made as a result of the order of the universe. And order of the universe has its own consistency. So it never changes. When you make the telephone, when you make the, for example, computer or anything, according to the order of the universe, you have to make it, and order of the universe is perfectly working. So if someone obeys the order of the universe with no mistake and makes a gadget, this gadget must work because order of the universe is consistent and works. If only we obey the order of the universe. That is, we should never say that, never forget or ignore that machines are made by obeying the order of the universe. That is an incredibly important matter that we have to keep in mind. So whoever obeys the order and makes something by obeying the order must work, because order perfectly works. Why? Because the creator never, ever makes anything absurd within an order, so that human beings can understand that this order needs a creator. Oh, sorry, time is up. Sorry. From my mistake, it is my mistake that I prolonged and I got excited about this very interesting subject.
SubhanAllah, this is amazing, actually. Like we spoke a lot in terms of different terminologies we use, we hear, but what does it mean? So wholes and universal definitely makes sense. Universal would be as far as maybe the qualities that I observe and connecting it with the rest of creation, and a whole would be the thing that I can see manifested in. So for example, the seed, the fruit, and the tree would be the whole, and all the qualities that are manifested in one tree is manifested in all the trees as well. So that would be the universal aspect. And then we also covered about how everything is in existence with all its different types of forms. So I think, to me, what was, the connection that was made was definitely, how in science we always study the electron, protons, neutrons, right? So for all of them they coexist at once. So you cannot have the electron without the proton and the neutron. So similarly, matter and antimatter, everything is all coexisting. But again, it's how am I viewing creation? Am I seeing the absoluteness and oneness of it, just like we covered at the beginning with the verse Allahu Samad, the eternal besoutedness. And then as far as getting results from creation is concerned, we all follow the order. We may not realize it, but again, anything that's being achieved is because there's a perfect existing order that we coexist with. And that's pretty much it for today. Alhamdulillah. Thank you all for joining us in. Inshallah, next Saturday, we will continue on with the 9th step. Until then, be well, everyone. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana. Innaka antal alimul hakim. Glory be unto you. We have no knowledge save except that which you've taught us. We have no knowledge save except that which you've taught us. Indeed. You are all knowledgeable, all wise. Wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati